Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. Every Wednesday I release a tutorial on my sewing tips of the week, and I've been doing this for over 2 years. So I have well over 100 sewing tips, and I've touched on just about every subject I think there is when it regards sewing. But many of you are new, or maybe you need a refresher. So I'm going to go over some of the more popular topics that I get asked about. Number one is, how do I cut fabric? And they're specifically relating to quilting fabric. How do I cut a strip? How do I cut a rectangle, a square, a triangle? So in my sewing tip of the week, number 13, I go over how to cut. But in order to cut properly, you need to get some good tools so that you get good, accurate cuts. So in my sewing tip number 19, I go over rotary cutters, rulers, and cutting mats. For instance, if all you do is sew one little seam once in a great while, you may only need just a little tiny cutting mat like this or a tiny rotary cutter. So depending on the type of sewing and cutting that you need to do depends on the size and the type of equipment that you need. Pressing is a very important step in sewing. And if you don't press things correctly, it can make or break your project. I see many tutorials in which they just fold over, they don't even finger press and sew. Yes, it's quick, but it doesn't look very nice. So I talk about the kind of iron I use and what kind of iron you could use depending on the kind of projects that you do. And also if you need to use any products like this, which is Best Press. So I go over all of that in my tip of the week, number 16. Have you ever had problems feeding your fabric underneath the presser foot, especially as you get close to the end and it starts to go awry just a little bit? Well, there's something that you can use that is called a stiletto, and it helps to guide the fabric under the presser foot so that it doesn't go crooked. But in that sewing tip number 17, I talk about other little items that you can use that you probably have somewhere in your house to help guide that fabric through. Here's another big question. Do you have a chart on needles and threads? Well, yes, I do. I didn't publish the chart. The chart is really easy to get. So in my sewing tip of the week, number 22, I explain how to get a chart. They're easy to get. They're right on the internet. But I also explain the color coding bands that are on the needles. For instance, for cotton, you need one type of needle and you need one type of thread. But maybe you're doing a silk or a stretch knit, you need another type of needle and thread. So check out that sewing tip. If you're not sure what the hem stitches are on your sewing machine, in tip of the week number 24, I go over hem stitches. I explain how to find them on your machine, how to refer to your user's manual. So before you start hemming something, make sure you learn how to use those hemming stitches. And it is tip of the week number 24. Have you ever had someone give you a good tip and then you think, oh, I wish I could remember it? Or you watched a really good video someday and you wish, oh, I wish I could remember what that was. Well, in my tip of the week number 10, I show you how to set up your stitching notes notebook so you can keep all kinds of information in it. So when it comes time to where you need to know how to do a blind hem or an applique stitch, you understand how to do it because you have your notes to refer to. So again, sewing tip of the week number 10. I also have cross-stitch tips that I put out periodically. They're not every week, but they come out maybe once a month or so because I really enjoy doing it. I find it very relaxing. So if you're a little nervous about learning cross-stitch, don't. It is really easy. I show you how to make simple little projects like this. Some are completely no-sew. You don't need a sewing machine. Others, you need a machine that does at least a straight stitch. So this is a simple bookmark. It has just one color of embroidery floss, small piece of Aida cloth. You can either fringe the edges like I did here, which is no-sew, or if you want, you can put fabric on the back and stitch it along the edge. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you've learned something new. Please watch these tips that I've talked about, especially if it's been a while since you've been sewing or you are brand new. You will learn so much. I take all of the mystery out of sewing. So to get to those links that I talked about, you want to scroll down to the description section, click on Show More, and it will expand open and you will see the links. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and please check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.